Pure Land chanting, is it meditation? You got the page? Yeah. Appendix 3. Yeah? Number 1. Pure Land chanting. Is it meditation? You got it? Okay. Now we read. You listen. Developing the 5 spiritual faculty. Just like what Sister Monica said, chanting is only one of the method or technique or skillful means used to anchor your mind. But the Pure Land type of chanting is more than that. Because in the Pure Land tradition, they have this great faith in the Buddha and the Bodhisattva that they chant. And due to the great vow of all these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, it can arise the causes and conditions for them to develop the strong affinity to connect to their vow. So Amitabha got 48 very, very heavy vows. And because his perfection is so special and unique, that he can create Pure Land. So he can create affinity and match his vow. Then with faith and understanding, you chant sincerely, it will bring forth the condition for you to take birth in the Pure Land. Then from there they cultivate. So Pure Land is a very special rhyme which is not within the 31 plane of existence. But for you to go there, your chanting must have reached that level where your mindfulness, awareness is very clear. Your faith, of course, is already very clear. Otherwise, you won't go that way. Where a lot of people were skeptical, especially Theravada. You know what they used to tell people? Where got such Buddhism one? That's why they criticize Mahayana as all this teaching not recorded in Theravada Sutta. And the worst is they go and elaborate without understanding. They say, chant, 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 no need to meditate, no need to cultivate Four Noble Truths, no need to cultivate Noble Eightfold Path, also can become enlightened, no? You believe or not? Very logical, isn't it, the argument? Just Amitofo, 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 day in and day out like that. But it can be done, because they don't understand the teaching. They didn't even go deep into it. They didn't know what Mahayana tradition is. So what happens is when they chant until no one is chanting. Because their faith is really very strong. Then it drives them to cultivate. That's why they chant. They chant is to develop the mindfulness. Then develop the Kong An, wisdom. 谁在念佛? You know Mandarin a bit. Get it? You can understand. 谁在念佛? Who is chanting the Buddha's name? That's why through that mindfulness, awareness, spiritual faculty, they will suddenly realize nobody is chanting the Buddha's name. It's just an awareness. The true mind. Then all of a sudden, when their mind develops that type of stability of mindfulness, then they develop samadhi in daily life. Then everything they do, they are mindful, aware. Then they can see things as they are. Then they can relate to the teaching. Do you know Pure Land teaching, Amitabha teaching? They have a lot of sutta which are very powerful. You heard of Wu Liang Shou Jing or not? That is Amitabha's teaching. Then another one is Wu Liang Yi Jing. These are all very, very profound sutta with a lot of wisdom. I still remember Wu Liang Shou Jing. I saw this 3 statements. I rejoiced. Because they are so deep in their understanding. They can relate to daily life and tell you the obstacle that come from a few things. The first one they tell you is 烦恼障. You understand that? You worry, it become an obstacle. That one easy to understand. Second one is the most difficult. 所知障. Whatever you know is an obstacle. There is knowledge. There is not wisdom. That's why it's a obstruction. So their teaching is very profound. The moment I read that statement, I knew They are very wise. Then they talk about 过去心不可得，未来心不可得，现在心也不可得。These are all very, very deep wisdom, very penetrating. And because of the understanding, that's why wisdom free, their mind free. Then they suddenly realize the former mind is not real. 五蕴皆空. That's why the Heart Sutta, everything become very clear to them. 色受想行识，五蕴皆空。Then 色不异空，空不异色。Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. So all this, they understand through the meditative understanding. That's why they awaken. Without wisdom, you cannot have the understanding, and you cannot have the affinity to actually match the vow of Amitabha. So that chanting is a very important faith development followed by spiritual faculty development. When your 5 spiritual faculty is there, the mental hindrance ceases to be. Then you are in the meditative state all the time. Moving, walking, chanting, everything you do is in the meditative state. That's why they will have the direct seeing, they will understand the truth, they will understand the teaching. That is the real meditation. But they don't go and subdivide until like the Theravada, 4 Noble Truths, 3 Turning, Noble Eightfold Path, everything. They also have their teaching, but most of them, Mahayana is like that. The basic teaching, which is the foundation of the Buddha's teaching, like all the 4 Noble Truths, 3 Turning, the Essential Dhamma, you go to Mahayana temple, the training, they don't teach you all this one. All this, there are certain sutta that cover small part, small part, small part, but they are all not emphasized. The emphasis is chanting, kongan, doing all the, like what we saw here, the morning chanting, afternoon chanting, the evening chanting. Then they have their routine. And all these are chanting the great sutta of all these great beings, like Kuan Yin. Like last night, I think they did Astor, Bodhisattva, and all those things. It's to connect to their vow, the affinity and everything, and develop the mindfulness training, the spiritual faculty. That's why people cannot understand, they simply comment. So I read on, you will understand. Their vows are very heavy and powerful because of their great virtue, wisdom, and perfection. Hence, all these vows can become part of nature's law, and they will manifest and respond on their own. That is, you don't need to have the Buddha or Kuan Yin Bodhisattva to be all over the places to listen to you and respond. Because of the Buddha's and the Bodhisattva's great vow, if you chant with understanding, and you do it sincerely with very strong faith, it can help you to develop a very strong affinity with their nature, and that faith and affinity will connect you to their vows. And their vows will bring forth the causes and conditions to assist you to progress along the path of Dhamma and help you develop the spiritual faculty needed for you to develop the meditation. That's why all this is possible. Then after that, how it leads to heedful living. That's why even though you see them like only chanting, but in actual fact, they are training their mind to be heedful via mindfulness of the Buddha's name. Their faith in the Buddha's name will arise the strong saddha due to repeated chanting with faith and understanding, leading to the virya, spiritual zeal. Then together with the sati developed via the chanting, walking and bowing, reverential salutation, etc., it will bring forth the sati and samadhi needed to develop the clear mind, which is the meditative or silent mind without thought, to see things as they are, to arise the wisdom, which is the last of the 5 spiritual faculty. So when sati and samadhi are established, then during every moment of their daily life, when they see, hear, smell, taste, feel something, they will be very different because they will be no longer heedless like before. Instead, they will be heedful most of the time, and their mind are very calm, peaceful, and just aware without thought. Hence, clarity of mind. Most of the time, clarity of mind most of the time. And this is possible because they hold on to their mantra with faith, and they do it very sincerely and diligently. Then overcoming the 5 spiritual faculties. Yeah? To develop the meditation, we only need to develop these 5 spiritual faculties, which will help us overcome the 5 mental hindrances that hinders one from becoming peaceful and mindful. These 5 mental hindrances, you don't have to fight them, control or suppress them, or worry about them. Once these 5 spiritual faculties of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya are there, the hindrance will cease to be. And then the mind with Sati and Samadhi will have the clarity to see things as they are, to arise the wisdom. Then their mind is no longer heedless, and they will no longer see things with the conditioned mind. There is no more seeing with their views, opinion, and egoic mind. And their thought will no longer interfere with their direct seeing, which will lead to the awakening, understanding, and the enlightenment. They will see the dependent origination within their own form and mind. They will start to understand the Four Noble Truths on their own. Then they will see clearly what the Buddha meant by the 5 mental hindrances and the 5 spiritual faculties. They will also see clearly the 3 evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion within their own mundane mind, and why the Buddha called them evil roots. They will also come to understand how the 7 factors of enlightenment come to be, and their sense bases how their sense bases actually function. That is, how upon contact, consciousness and feeling comes to be. And because they have Sati and Samadhi, they will also have the ability to see clearly how how through delusion one is conditioned into negativity, grasping, clinging, and attachment. Then how suffering comes to be. Then when they are just silent and aware, they will come to understand how the arising of the non-arisen hindrance of mind comes to be. Then later on, when they continue to just silent and aware, they will come to understand how the disappearance or the abandoning of the arisen hindrance comes to be. Then how through non-delusion, they will know how in the future, how the non-arising in the future of the abandoned mental hindrance comes to be, and how all these are possible. This is how they will cultivate the Satipatthana, or 4 foundation of mindfulness, then leading to enlightenment. I will read that after. Wait, I read this part first. Sati will allow them to also understand how their minds stir via their delusion to react to sense experience, to arise the craving, or their evil roots, to condition them into suffering. This is how Pure Land chanting can also lead to enlightenment in the here and the now. Note, Sati is awareness or mindfulness before the knowing, and Samadhi is the collected and unwavering silent mind. So the problem with Buddhism is actually a lot. I think what Garrett spoke on is very true. Because within the Buddhist circle, there's a lot of difference of opinion and view. Because the reason is they lack overall understanding. When you lack overall understanding, then there is fear. To them, the Theravada, especially those who don't have the full understanding, to them is very dangerous. You just teach them to chant. Are you sure it will lead to enlightenment, lead to Nibbana? Then the other side, Pure Land, tell you a different argument, which is also logical. You think so easy to understand the Four Noble Truths, the essential Dhamma. There are so much things that you have to learn and cultivate, and it cannot be done easily. And you teach all this, it becomes knowledge. Their Pure Land tradition, they say very easy. Chant, have faith. Then you connect to the vow. The vow will take you along. So one side present his view, logical. The other side present their view, also logical. We both don't have the complete understanding. But when you have the complete understanding, you can accommodate both. Because kids are kids. People who want to be trained, it's their choice. Which is better? Which is more suitable to them? You have to observe the kid. You have to observe how they get themselves attracted to which one. If they have the past, the moment they hear the chanting, like a lot of my Kanyamita, they came, I teach Theravada teaching, but they have great affinity with Mahayana. Like Alicia, Ti Chang Wang, very natural, settle in. And a lot of them have Kuan Yin's affinity, background, Amitabha. It doesn't mean that they cannot learn. They can learn. Then they connect back. Because sometimes in certain life, when you go for all this, they will come to know that the foundation is very important. The foundation is a handful of leaves. The basic, essential Dhamma and essence of the Buddha's teaching, the Four Noble Truths and its three turning. But according to the Buddha, when he spoke to the monk under the Samsipa grove, he told the monk, which is more, the leaf on my hand or the leaf in the forest? So they told him, definitely the leaf in the forest. So he told them, likewise, what I have cultivated, developed and understood is like the leaf in the forest. But what I have taught you is just a handful. Why? Well, this is conducive for enlightenment. This is conducive for the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation. So when you have this base, you will realize the initial sainthood way. Then after that, you want to go the Bodhisattva way, you can move on from here. So now, a lot of Mahayana teachers, they also come to know the best is to combine the Theravada and the Mahayana. They both have their special understanding and usefulness. So Mahayana who are not trained in the basic Theravada teaching, they should learn. Then it will help them to understand why they chant, like how I explained to you. How come I can understand both traditions? It's because I'm exposed to both. And it's the individual's choice. It's also their past affinity and karma. That's why when you come to my class, I never tell you you must follow my method, my technique. No such thing. Your method and technique never define the meditation. Then you don't have to be a Buddhist also to come to the class. You don't have to be whether Theravada or Mahayana. It's up to you. You can come from any Buddhist society. We are Kayanamita. That's why this should be the concept. This should be the understanding. Freedom. You have both traditions, but you must have the understanding, the overall understanding, to understand that both work. Both can lead to enlightenment if you cultivate it correctly with understanding. Then there is no argument, no division. Whoever good at which, teach. Whoever not good at that one, please, don't go and teach something that you don't understand or you are not familiar. So with this understanding, it will flourish. It will avoid conflict. It will avoid misunderstanding. And this is what I believe the Buddhist community need. That's why you should, when you come together, we are all Kayanamita, Dhamma friends, for you. So that we don't have to subdivide whether we are Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, or I am from which Fo Jiao Hui, or which temple. Within Theravada, so many temples, so many divisions. Then they attach and cling to method, technique, and teacher. Then they got Vipassana. Then after that, they got Burmese tradition. They got Thai tradition. Within Burmese tradition, so many traditions. Understand? Then all the division, everybody is focusing on method, technique, not on the teaching, not on the understanding of the Buddha's teaching, the essence of his teaching, the message. So hopefully, with this, Garrett, I have answered you. Yeah, you want to add, my daughter? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, something occurred to me as I heard this. Yeah, so I think it has value in songs and poems like the San Zi Jing. Even though kids don't understand, they like to listen to it, they memorize it, they chant it, they learn Mandarin. After that, when they are older, I think the words start to have their meaning and they start to ponder. So when I went to Sunday school, I actually don't remember much, but there's one chanting that stuck to me, the avoid all evil, do good is advice all the sabha papasa agarana kusala upasampada sachita pariyodapana etang buddhanu sasanang. That was since young. Always in the back of my memory.
It went into her subconscious. No, because in the past they have cultivated, they heard before. Then to them that is very important. That's why you will go in on. Like the moment I saw the Four Noble Truths, nobody taught me. I already knew what that thing is, the secret of life. Nobody can summarize all his understanding into that. That's why my nature know. It's from the past. And all this is correct, what she said. When they are young, teach them how to sing song. You remember yesterday? Oh, Garrett hasn't come. The Sunday school. How happy they are. Oh, they chant with joy. You can feel their joy. And my wife also, after so long, San Bao Ge, is it? The San Bao Ge. He said, long time haven't heard already, the children singing. Because she's 佛教会老师 in the school, primary school. So when she heard that one, full of joy. Because I can feel the joy of the kid now. Understand? So much enthusiasm now. But they are not teaching the Dhamma yet. We are teaching how to sing first. And under the sutta, that day at the Sunday class, I shared that sutta, 法华经 法华三部经 Garrett, you familiar or not? The first one is what? 无量易经, the Sutra of innumerous meaning. That one start with the introduction, that virtue. Virtue is very powerful. The moment you have virtue, you have Dhamma. Without virtue, you don't have Dhamma. Then the best is the next sutta, 法华经. If I'm not wrong, 法华经 got 28 chapters. And within the 28 chapters, there were a few chapters on the parable of the moving cart. You heard of it or not? He said, the parable said, when the house is on fire, how do you save the children? Because they are still so young. So he pushed in the cart with a toy, attract them, put them in, then pull them out. After they come out of the fire, no more danger already, then he said he will send them somewhere with another cart, a bigger cart. It's just like teaching the Theravada first, initially. Then when they understand this, they are safe already, they have the base already, then move them to the higher teaching. That's how you teach. That's why when the kids are too young, don't be too eager to teach. But they are not mature, understand? No? They don't have that exposure in life to understand all this. So let them grow out. Let them chant like my daughter went through. Then the thing that they like from their past was singing. Then they will know how to progress from there after that. Then those who have their past, you no need to teach one. Like my nature come. Nobody need to teach me. When you are ready, the teacher come, the guide come, the book come. Then sometimes the teacher also, they just share with me what they know. But some of the things, they may not have the full understanding of it. But the moment they mention that truth, my nature already know. I already have the understanding. So there are people with special paths that can understand. And these are the people who can share and teach where they come for the living beings. So these are all very important understanding.